time is 5:30 and I am heading to Åre. So yeah, today is supposed to be a very nice day. If we take a look at the sky, it's completely blue, not a single cloud. So we are going to do some paragliding today is the plan. As I said, the time is right now 5:30. I am not whatsoever a morning person, so getting up this early is actually really horrible. But if I want to be at the club at a good time, that's when I have to get up, because it takes an hour and a half to get there. So when I get there, people will have already been starting to fly, so I will probably miss the first lift to the top. Should be a very good day. All the batteries are charged. I have my helmet, I have my GoPro, memory cards, everything. So let's head over there and see what happens during the day. Once I arrived in Åre, there was no time to spare. The bus up to the starting location was leaving about 10 minutes after I arrived, so I gathered my things and headed up with the rest of them. The first flight of the day is always the one I'm most nervous about, so it was nice watching the other pilots take off before me, giving me some time to calm down and focus on the task at hand. Eventually though, it was my time to start, so I put my glider out on the ground and prepared to take off. You start or?
Vi kommer vänta en liten stund tills Malaga är nere.
Så jag kör?
Ja.
Okej. Sweet. Let's just pack everything up and we will go again. I hardly had time to pack my gear together before the next lift was going up, so I had to scoop up the rig in whatever state it had currently been packed and just threw it in the back of the van and headed up for the second flight of the day. By now, the nervousness from the first flight was mostly gone, so the second takeoff went by pretty smoothly. The flight itself was pretty uneventful and I got down to Draklanda after about 15 minutes. time was now 10 o'clock. That means that the vans are no longer allowed to go up and the lifts are open for business. So we headed up to Åreskutan for a flight from the 1000 meter start. Once at the top, the starting area was already filled with pilots ready to take off, so I did the same and lined up in the back, preparing my gear for takeoff as well. After one failed attempt, I lined up again for my second try, and this one was successful. Once in the air, I headed straight down towards Hummen. That's where you're most likely to find thermic winds and winds blowing up from the valley below up towards the mountain. Once at Hummen, I flew around for a bit searching for thermic winds to take me upwards. Since I am very new at this, I didn't really find anything at first. But after flying around for a bit, I seemed to find some kind of thermic winds above the mast and this little lake. I decided to focus on this area to see if I was right and to see if the winds could actually pick me up from here. A little while back I learned this trick to identify on what side the thermic winds will be. If you could feel the right side of the wing lifting up, that means that the thermic wind most likely is on that side. And if you feel it lift on the left side, that most likely means that the thermic wind is on the left side. And it seemed to be working. And this is where my day got a lot more interesting. I have only been able to stay in the air for longer than 15 to 20 minutes once before, during a flight in March. But this was now about to change, as I was lucky enough to find myself some thermal winds. So, this day I got my personal summer flight record of about 55 minutes. don't want to get too close to the clouds because they say that because of the thermals you can get sucked up into the cloud if you get too close. And I'm not experienced enough for that, so I will not head towards the clouds, I think. This has been a really nice flight. I've been up here for like probably 20 minutes now, what to say? 30 minutes I've been up here. And this is the longest I have been up during the summer, actually. I have been up for a while. 40 minutes is my record during the spring. I'm just gonna head straight out here because now I'm really high and I don't want to get sucked too much into. And I also have my speed bar that I will put my legs into. So just in case I get too high, I can head down so it goes a bit faster. I could probably have stayed up for much longer had I wanted to, but my shoulders and arms didn't feel the same way as I did, so I decided to call it a day and head down to Jämtland again. So, with these flights in the bag, the amount of high altitude flights that I have done is as follows. 11 flights in 2024, 4 flights in 2023 and 9 flights in 2022. That brings the total amount of flights up to 24, and if I would count hill glides too, we are up to a total of 37. And my total flight time is 6 hours and 10 minutes. And that will have to be all for this episode. So thank you for watching, like, subscribe, do all of that, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye guys.